Okay, I'm gonna be doing twofold heartbeat. With New Year approaching, Xavier and I received one last mission to complete before the holiday break. Start. On the observation deck atop the Lincoln Tower, Xavier and I are about to wrap up our last mission of the year. Thinking about the delightful vacation that's calling for me, I can't help but smile.
Hello?
They're offering to increase our pay threefold for overtime. Are you interested?
Threefold. Probably.
No thanks. I'm going home for the Lincoln New Year.
Hello?
They're offering to triple our pay for overtime.
I'm also going home for the New Year.
I see. You're with Xavier.
Yes.
Happy Lincoln New Year, you two.
Thank you. Before I can even say Happy New Year back, Nero ends the call. Dang. Raising my head, I see Xavier flick his wrist. The light blade disappears, and the wanderer behind him dissolves into specks of light. He walks up to me and takes my hand.
Are you ready? Getting off work.
Feeling weightless, I'm picked up by him. The scenery before me instantly shifts while I'm in his arms. The wind is like a sharp whistle as it blows past our ears, while the surrounding buildings are like a glass curtain that barely has time to reflect our fleeting figures. In the blink of an eye, I find myself standing on a bustling street. Even light can't keep up with him when he clocks out. A child on the street is so taken aback by our sudden appearance that his marshmallow falls to the ground. I turn my head and offer him a mysterious smile. He's super cool, right? Doesn't he? Doesn't he remind you of Lumiere? MC, you're trying to provoke him. Xavier turns my head back and gives the child a glance.
She's just joking. Hurry up and head home.
Xavier and I head to the association to submit a report about today's mission. When we return home, it's already late at night. In an apartment corridor, numerous doorways are embellished with New Year's decorations. Strings of small lanterns cast a soft and warm glow. The elevator replays the advertisement for Bunny's Hot Pot. The words, "Open during New Year," are in bold text as I cheerfully scroll back and forth. Remember, we agreed to wake up before 7 tomorrow for the themed photo shoot. I hope we can complete the challenge. As I express my doubts, he looks at me with a steady, confident gaze.
With a new year comes new beginnings. Neither of us will oversleep, I promise. I already set a bunch of alarms. I'll come to wake you up and bring you breakfast.
Okay. With a beep, the hunter's watch precisely lists the time as 12 a.m. A line of small text automatically appears on the screen. Your annual hunter report is ready. Tap to claim your point rewards now.
I hope you succeed in making a fortune.
Thanks. I hope you always eat well and sleep well. After a moment of silence, I lift my head to look at the elevator as it beeps in protest. It's time to head back.
Is there another option if I don't want to leave?
We might not wake up on time tomorrow. Sleeping in isn't allowed on the last day of the year. I nudged Xavier into the elevator. A few seconds pass before the elevator doors open again. What is it?
We forgot to say goodnight.
Good night, Xavier.
Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.
The next day, Xavier does wake up early, and true to the promise, he comes over to pick me up. We made a reservation at an old-fashioned photo studio in advance to take commemorative photos.
Please wait a moment. The fill light on the side isn't bright enough. Let me go find another one. Oh, that's weird. Why is it working now?
Xavier. I turned my head. As I expected, the light next to Xavier becomes slightly brighter. You can use your eval like that?
I should make my own contribution to energy saving.
Out of all the guys who visit me for photo shoots, only a few are good at posing like you.
Intrigued, I glance at Xavier, only to find him calmly striking various poses based on the owner's instructions. Have you been practicing behind my back without telling me?
No, I've been practicing out in the open.
Accompanied by a shower of praise from the owner, we accomplished our second goal for the new year. Before we really got to know each other, you didn't strike me as someone who was into photo shoots. Now you're the one suggesting we do photo shoots together, and you're a pro at posing.
I used to see photo shoots as a way to capture memories, but there weren't many things I wanted to hold on to in life. Later on, I came to realize that it's good to leave a mark behind sometimes.
As Xavier speaks, he tilts his head and looks at me.
Whether in our own lives or in the stories of others.
We leave the photo studio and turn the corner. A bustling New Year's market greets us. The distant sound of firecrackers reaches us, only to be overshadowed by the vendors' shouts and the crowd's laughter and chatter. The street seems to stretch on endlessly, and I happily walk around with Xavier for quite some time.
That fruit platter with flowers is a good luck charm. It even has persimmons and tangerines, symbolizing everything goes smoothly. We can eat them after New Year's too.
I see you're actually looking forward to eating them. These flowers symbolize new beginnings and hope. It's perfect for the new year, don't you think? Before we decide on the perfect New Year's flower, our attention is drawn by the sudden music that fills the air. A crowd gathers to witness the spectacle, and Xavier discreetly steps back to shield me behind him.
Is this the New Year's street performance you mentioned earlier?
I think so. I heard it just randomly shows up at the New Year's market every day.
And we somehow ended up in the front row to watch it.
The crowd forms a small circle in the street with a juggling street performer at its center. He's on a unicycle. A stack of plates rest on his head as he juggles 5 tangerines. When the street performer's assistant tosses him the 6th tangerine, his unicycle unexpectedly slips. The plates and tangerines are about to fall. Watch out! In the nick of time, Xavier hurls a ball of light as a distraction. While the onlookers are momentarily dazzled, he swiftly moves in to help. That's sweet. Before anyone can react to the unfolding events, the light dissipates and the performance continues without a hitch. Bravo, show us some more. The atmosphere instantly improves, and a chorus of cheers erupts from the crowd. As the crowd gradually disperses, Xavier takes my hand to continue our stroll. We did another good deed and banked some good karma for the next year. Once we have enough good luck, we'll be blessed by the Fuxing, just like in those stories.
Is there a reward for those who are blessed by the Fuxing?
Fuxing. He asked this as we walk past a stall that sells sugar figurines. The stall owner, with the instruction of a child, creates a miniature version of Lumiere. I pull Xavier closer to the stall. How does a pair of these sound? Business is booming at the stall, selling sugar figurines. Navigate around the long line and join it. When it's finally our turn, I eagerly speak out what I want. I also want a loot. Receiving a glare from the person next to me, I sigh and reluctantly settle for the next best option. Can you make us a bunny and a star, please? Xavier, being jealous of himself.
That will require some blowing. Miss, do you want to try it yourself? Or would you rather have your boyfriend do it?
I point at Xavier without any hesitation. The stall owner cheerfully agrees with my choice. He takes some sugar, molds it, pulls out a slender sugar tube, and brings it to Xavier's mouth.
Gently blow into it. Try not to exert too much force, or else it'll explode.
Following the owner's instructions, Xavier puffs out his cheeks and carefully blows into the sugar. It's not long before a round sugar star forms. I give Xavier a teasing look. Will Starbun be this Bun's new partner? Looking down, Xavier also checked out Starbun, the one I made fun of. In the next instant, he grabs my shoulders and guides me toward the stall.
My girlfriend volunteers to make the next one.
After the sugar figures cool down, the owner hands them to us with their finished expressions, then bends down to start crafting a sugar painting. I raise the star in my hand and tap it against the bunny in Xavier's hand. The bunny is so round and cunning. It's basically you.
So who's the star?
Me. Oh, it's also you. He takes the sugar figurine from my hand, and we lean in together to examine them.
Since they're both me, which Xavier do you want?
I poke his head. The one who's right in front of me.
Well, in that case, you're not allowed to nibble on my candy later.
Xavier holds the sugar figurines while also carrying a bunch of stuff we purchased. The new woolly hat on his head gets caught on something. A thread has been pulled out, which unexpectedly gives him an innocent look.
Is there something on my face?
Look, there's a spaceship in the sky.
That's impossible. No one else would. I mean, no aliens would visit Earth.
Are you sure about that? Well...
Or are you trying to distract me so that you can do whatever you want?
You already know the answer to that.
Let's try this again.
Xavier mimics Xavier mimics my previous pose, feigning surprise as he gazes up at the sky. His shocked face is funny.
Huh? Where's the spaceship?
This acting. With no time to hesitate. Oh. With no time to hesitate, I quickly stand on my tiptoes to kiss his cheek. As my lips briefly gaze. Oh. As my lips briefly graze his cheek, a gentle warmth quietly spreads from where my lips landed. Xavier touches his cheek and lowers his gaze to meet mine.
The aliens have my appreciation. I hope they swing by more often in the new year. Look, there's an alpaca selling flowers.
The same trick won't work twice. I don't believe it at first, but his gaze seems too sincere. Knowing it might be a trap, I tilt my head toward the direction he's pointing in. Oh, what the? Jeremiah! I was not expecting him. And there actually is a person walking, an alpaca with flowers all over its back. Wait, I'm excited to hear his voice because it's the same as Caleb's. As we move closer, I quickly recognize the familiar person who's guiding the animal. Jeremiah. Where did you get this alpaca?
I borrowed it from an old friend to help promote my business for the new year. Happy Lincoln New Year, guys. Do you want to go to Philo tonight and play cards?
No thanks. Making you lose on the last day of a year sounds like a bad idea.
Xavier. Jeremiah looks at Xavier, then at our clasped hands.
I see.
Your flowers.
Xavier, don't need to be so mean to him. I feel bad. I follow Xavier's gaze and see the alpaca behind Jeremiah suddenly turning its head toward.
What's wrong with my flowers? Hey, close your mouth! Don't eat them!
Do you need any help?
Do you even have to ask?
After helping Jeremiah save his flowers in a flurry, he guides the alpaca toward the popcorn. After helping Jeremiah save his flowers in a flurry, he guides the alpaca toward the popcorn stall to resume his promotion. As night falls, the streetlights around us light up one by one. The market is about to close, but it's still crowded with people. Even as they start heading home, Xavier has to hold my hand tightly to prevent us from getting separated. What a hectic day. We did many good deeds and have a positive attitude for the new year. Now we can go home for our New Year's dinner without worrying about anything.
There's another place I need to visit, and I have to go alone. Is that okay?
Okay. I half-jokingly ask him a question. You're not thinking about fighting wanderers without me, are you?
They deserve a break for the new year, too.
Alright, don't forget to buy some more lettuce for our hot pot tonight.
If there's no lettuce, can I bring back beef rolls?
Sure. If you only eat meat, you'll become silly. What? He answers with an oh and nods. I look up. He's still wearing the woolly hat that got caught on something. It bothers me. After we part ways, I head to a nearby gift shop to get a new woolly hat for Xavier. While walking past the sugar figurine stall, I couldn't resist buying a Lumiere sugar figurine, admiring it closely along the way. Of course. Don't those kids feel bad when they eat this? I return home before Xavier does and start organizing the tasty food and fun stuff we purchased today. The limited edition New Year Bunny's hot pot is placed on the table with the tableware neatly set. As steam rises from the bubbling hot pot, the knock on the door that I was waiting for arrives. I open the door.
What did you put in the hot pot? It smells good.
There's only meat in it.
That's great.
Of course he thinks so. I take the flowers from his hand. They're 2 bouquets that we didn't get to buy earlier.
I stopped by Philo on my way back. I thought I should help out with Jeremiah's business.
Since you didn't go out to just buy flowers, did you meet up with a friend?
Sort of. I met some old friends.
Oh. The New Year's program on the TV plays in the background as meatballs swirl in the hot pot, setting the scene for our casual conversation. The moment I look up, my gaze lands on the festive flower arrangement next to the TV cabinet. Xavier moves his fingers and waves his hand in front of my face.
Why do you keep staring at the flowers?
I'm not. I just thought the person who picked them had good taste.
Having so many flowers shoved into one vase does make things lively.
If you think it looks messy, just say so.
That's not what I meant. When these flowers are put together, it's as if everything is coming back to life.
You're right. After all, spring is right around the corner after the new year. Xavier nods and places the last few pieces of boiled lettuce onto my plate. After a fulfilling meal, Xavier starts to write on a wish plaque using the pen and ink I took out. I lower myself beside the table, observing him as he writes. His handwriting is elegant beside his name, and it carries the same charm when it's next to my name too. While one of us concentrates on observing, the other is focused on writing. It's not long before 2 wish plaques are made.
We can hang these on the branches of the sacred tree tomorrow morning. It'll be another year. We can thank the gods for answering our prayers last year.
I thought I saw a bug in my room. I think something's still missing. I take the pen from Xavier's hand and add a few cartoon stars to the wish plaques. What's your wish for the new year? He takes my hand and draws a smiley face on each of the little stars.
I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll be inspired in a bit.
Well, this is pretty. The TV program lulls us into a state of drowsiness. Xavier suggests we move to the balcony for the second half of New Year's Eve. The distant voices of a crowd drift up from downstairs and are accompanied by laughter and the footsteps of children playing. The night is infused with the same liveliness I saw during the day. We recline on our lounge chairs, roast marshmallows on the grill, and appreciate the nighttime scenery. Xavier, how did you celebrate the New Year before?
I just partook in all kinds of lively activities.
How so? Tell me everything.
I participated in a few of those quirky New Year's events. I went on a nighttime tour of an old town, strolling through dimly lit alleys and watching plays. The kids next to me were so scared they kept crying. There was another time when I tagged along with a tour group for a night hike, perfectly timed to catch the sunrise. I even did a movie marathon once, watching 8 films from the same series back to back the entire night. I didn't think it'd last that long.
Which series? Why did you do all those things at night?
I guess I was just looking for a unique way to stay up for the New Year. If I didn't find something to keep me occupied, I would have fallen asleep halfway. I was surprised to see so many strangers sharing the same idea. It was always a different event each year.
But those people are still strangers to you, right? After the New Year, you might not even recognize each other if you bump into them on the street. Wouldn't that be a shame?
It wasn't like that before.
What about now? Xavier rotates the marshmallow in his hand, and the glow's fire casts a soft glow on his face.
It's definitely not the case. The thought of welcoming spring with you fills me with nothing but anticipation.
A warm, tender sensation blossoms in my heart. I reach out and place my palm on his cheek. Do you know what you'll wish for in front of the sacred tree this spring?
Not yet. Maybe its sacred power isn't in the wish plaque after all. Perhaps I should put my faith in the person who always helps me find the highest branch. When she's by my side, my wish might come true sooner.
He holds out a roasted marshmallow to me. As I bite and chew it, my words come out slightly muffled. Well, it'll depend on what your wish is.
World peace.
That's too hard.
An extra week of annual leave?
I don't think I can give you that either.
We'll go with the easiest one then. Stay awake and watch the sunrise with me tomorrow morning.
You want to welcome the New Year's first ray of light? I can do that by just looking at you.
You're free to cheat if you want.
He raises his hand and specks of light dance around us, casting a gentle glow that illuminates our surroundings. Are we just going to wait like this until the sun rises? What are we going to do after that?
Once the sun takes over my shift, we'll head inside and enjoy our first nap of the new year.
Your New Year's wish is surprisingly simple.
It's precisely because it's simple that you, the soft-hearted, can help me make it come true.
Our heart is even harder than your burnt marshmallow. As the night deepens, the cool breeze slowly carries away the grill's heat. I quietly slide my hand into Xavier's sweater pocket for warmth. Xavier takes out his woolly hat and places it on my head, then wraps me up in a blanket, attempting to turn me into a real marshmallow. I break free and rest my head against his chest. Xavier, if you ever want to explore Lincoln City at night again, you can ask me to tag along. But you already did those things. But you already did all those New Year's events. I can't think of anything more unique right now. Xavier holds me as I'm wrapped up in the blanket again. His chin rests on my head.
I don't need anything unique. What we're having right now is perfect.
Once more, my hunter's watch gets a notification that says it's midnight. The night sky shines as New Year's fireworks bloom above the cityscape. I sit up and my gaze traces the fireworks' descent from the night sky, a fleeting spectacle akin to a magnificent meteor shower. I can't. I sit up and my gaze traces the fireworks' descent from the night sky, a fleeting spectacle akin to a magnificent meteor shower. All the light eventually returns to me, reflected in the eyes of Xavier beside me. When our gazes meet, the wind, the fireworks in the sky, and the chatter below suddenly fade into silence. Happy New Year, Xavier.
Happy New Year. We'll soon meet the next spring.
That was sweet. Honestly, I'm a bit worried because in Xavier's trailer, he says, "This is my last spring on Earth." And that was last year when the game first came out. So he keeps mentioning spring.
This is my 214th spring on Earth, and it will be my last.
Our planet has welcomed the 4,389.2 billionth sunrise. The tracker team has returned from Earth. The deep space tunnel will be closed, and we shall return to the era before immortality.
So it makes me worried that something bad is gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know. Because it's mentioned it multiple times recently, especially. Like him in spring, like him talking about spring coming. So, yeah. I'm concerned about that, but hopefully nothing bad happens and he'll be okay. But yeah, this memory was cute. So that's it. Bye.